going to learn the history of how Minecraft was made. I'm actually super excited because I played Minecraft a lot whenever I was younger, and I still kind of play it now, I'm gonna be honest with you. And we're gonna make a Minecraft server in the Discord. So, let's learn some history.
On a normal evening in 2009, a man gets home from work and boots up his computer.
Mr. Craft!
His name is Marcus Persson, but he often goes by his screen name, Notch.
There he is.
Based in Stockholm, Sweden, Persson spends his evenings developing passion projects, fun coding exercises that sometimes end up as completed video games, but more typically become abandoned after a short time. But what he doesn't know is that the file he starts today will change the gaming industry forever. And will make him one of the wealthiest Swedes in the world.
Whoa, that's sweet.
This is the making of Minecraft.
Oh, let's go, lore. Lore drop.
In the very beginning, the game that Persson was creating wasn't called Minecraft.
Really?
It was called Ruby Dung.
Ruby Dung? Oh my god, that sounds shitty.
Based on the two main elements of the game, the Ruby lands and the dungeons.
Wait, it's supposed to be dungeon? No. You have to fix that. That gotta be workshopped.
It's going to be a fantasy group manager. You don't actually do any quests yourself, but rather assemble, equip, and level up heroes. And send them on quests you gotten from the local town.
That kind of sounds like a mobile game, doesn't it?
Persson created a texture atlas, which is essentially one large image file that contains lots of smaller textures. Initially, this atlas only contained two textures, grass and cobblestone.
What more do you need?
Using these elements, he created a digital landscape filled with trees.
Whoa!
Next up, Persson wanted to implement a first-person view of the hero.
I have a question. Doesn't this kind of look like Roller Coaster Tycoon? Like the original one? It kind of has the same vibes.
Heroes going on their quests. But quickly he realized that it was becoming too pixelated and blurry. Frustrated that he couldn't get all of the features just quite right, Persson scrapped the idea, not realizing that he had just created the first prototype for what would later become Minecraft.
Whoa!
One major limitation was that he could only work on his games during the limited free time after his day job.
Oh, yes. Why?
He worked as a programmer at Midas Player, the Swedish game developers that would later go on to create Candy Crush.
What? Does everything he touched turn to gold? My god, Candy Crush in Minecraft?
However, his bosses at Midas Player were unsupportive of Persson's hobby. And once they discovered that he was making his own games in his free time, they felt that there was a competing interest, and they barred him from continuing making his own games.
Oh, how? They duct tape him and throw him in the dungeon?
But Persson couldn't be stopped.
Good!
Rather than comply, he decided to quit his job in order to continue working on his own passion projects.
Dude, this is gonna sound crazy, so stay with me. Do you ever think it's nuts that, like, one decision can change everything? And, like, this is him, like, staring at a decision and has to choose the right side or the left side, and then he chose correctly. But imagine if he stayed at his job.
And he found a new job with the software company J-Album, where he befriended the CEO, Carl Manne. J-Album was not a game studio, but a company that made digital photo album software. And Carl Manne not only didn't mind what Persson did in his free time, but instead, he actively encouraged him to—
What? Wait, he's like based and encouraging? He's like a dad, papa, cool boss? I think most of the time, a boss makes your work experience. Like, if you have a good boss, like, that's awesome. But if you have a bad boss, I would say that's 99% of the time why people quit. Not even because they hate the job, just because their boss sucks.
To continue designing games. At this point, Ruby Dung still sat on the shelf. A scrap project with little more development. That is until April 2009, when Persson came across a new game that would change everything for him. The game was called Infiniminer. Infiniminer is a multiplayer game where players team up against other players to dig blocks in search of minerals.
Is Infiniminer pissed? I would be so mad.
As blocks are dug up, they can then be used to create structures to impede other teams. Though the objective of the game was to
Wait, that's kind of like Bed Wars? Is that what you do in Bed Wars? I think you have to like go against other people or something like that.
mine up more minerals than your opponents, players quickly abandoned that goal and instead realized it was much more fun to just build things.
Ah, true. Have you guys seen that corn game? There's like this corn game with this girl who you're supposed to be on like an island with, and then she's like really hot, but the objective of the game is you're supposed to like her. But actually it has a really fun building system to where people actually abandoned the and they like lock her in a dungeon so they can just keep building and not worry about her. I forget the name of the game. Maybe somebody in chat knows. It's actually kind of interesting.
But despite the game's enormous potential, its development was plagued with difficulties. Zachary
Let me see if I can find it. Here, one second. The example people on the YouTube channel.
Barv, the original creator of Infiniminer, had intended to create a large network of players. But with the game's code constantly being modified and rewritten, the game soon fragmented its user base as the different versions of the game weren't compatible with each other.
Oh, there was this game I was playing recently too. Sorry, this is like a very yappy video. Where it was like a island crafting game. And they said once the update came out, you would have to start an entirely new game because they were just wiping all of your progress. It was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not gonna play your game anymore.
Frustrated, Barv decided to abandon the project as a whole, and the game's code became open source.
Whoa.
The first time Person tried Infiniminer, he immediately had an epiphany that this was the game he wanted to do.
Wow,
and
he got
had
inspired.
lots of ideas of how he could make it better.
Nice.
He sat back down with the previously abandoned Rubydong and got to work tweaking it into the new vision he had in his head.
Ooh.
Reusing his existing textures, Person took a full weekend to rework some of the coding and art style.
He did this in a weekend? And all I do is sit on the couch and watch Better Call Saul and do nothing? Oh my god.
He called his creation Cave Game, and with just a little more work, it moved from
I found the game. I think it's called iShoujo. Oh, is it? No. Wait, yes! You're right. This is it. I'm sorry. I think I just saw hoo-ha by accident. I just didn't see the right hoo-ha. But now that I've seen her hoo-ha, I know you're talking about the right game. Yeah, it's called iShoujo. It's a game where people ended up locking her in a basement because they just didn't want to deal with her and they just wanted to build stuff. Honestly, we should play this on stream. Oh my god! Look at this! Read this! I'm gonna read this comment out to you. Listen to this. Hi, Bri. Imagine she's the perfect girl. She still will complain, but her friends are topless. Okay.
from just a test to a working prototype. Now, all he needed were players, and he had a plan for where he could get some early testers.
Me!
Just a few weeks prior, Person joined an online indie game forum called TIGSource.
I miss forums, man. I miss having a signature. It was awesome. Good times.
Here, developers can receive feedback from other developers on games they are creating. Person began discussing with others in the community, who quickly suggested a new name for the project. Minecraft! Order of the Stone.
Ah, drop that.
Named for the two actions you could do in the game.
You can mine, and wait for it, you can craft!
Mining and crafting, though Person would later drop the subtitle from the name. He then decided that this forum would be the best place to start getting early players and have some immediate feedback for how he could continue developing the game.
Dude, I think the first time I played Minecraft, I think it was free or like $5 or something, I can't remember. It had to have been free. I was a kid. No way I got my mom's credit card. I know there's a lot of people nowadays who just be asking their parents to buy stuff for them, but I could not do that. My mom would have beat my ass if I asked her for $5 to play Minecraft. There's no way. But I remember I played Minecraft, and the beginning, the first evening, I was so scared. And it was because my friend also played Minecraft, and she came up to me and she said, the first night's really scary. You've got to hide. And it was really scary.
And so, on May 17, 2009, he shared the first link that would allow others in the forum to begin playtesting the game.
Wow! Look at that little
Minecraft.
penguin.
It's an alpha version, so there might be some crashes.
Just 12 minutes after he posted the link, the first person provides feedback.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, hell, that's pretty cool. I just dig around in the ground a bit, and suddenly I'm in this underground cave. Great sense of exploration already.
Wow!
Just 3 minutes later, the next reply.
The animations are
fans.
fantastic. It's generally really derivative at the moment of Infiniminer.
Oh! We don't know them. We
More
don't know
and more
them.
people are downloading, providing feedback, and above all, praise.
Wow.
And though the forum was made for feedback, players couldn't resist posting the things they have made.
Oh my god, he's already inspiring people to create! And they're having so much fun!
And since people were showing off screenshots of their creations, more and more people were encouraged to jump in and give.
Oh, look at Mario! This is so cute. He must have felt so good. Like, I know that I'm making this a narcissism moment because I'm talking about myself, but I was so happy the first time I ever saw you guys draw a picture of me. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, I made it. Like, this is it. Like, this is the greatest feeling in the world. And, like, I can imagine he felt the same way when people started saying they liked the game and then they were posting their creation. He's like, I made it. Someone made a Mario.
Give it a try themselves. The community also had plenty of feedback for features that could make Minecraft even better.
Good!
And Person was on it, updating his blog nearly every day with the progress he was making on adding many of the ideas presented.
Whoa! Dude, I kind of miss whenever people would take criticism. AAA games do not give a shit. They are not listening to you. I think even this is for like the super old nerdy people. I remember that Homestuck used to take suggestions on the MS Paint forums or whatever, and that was kind of nice.
I plan on having several game modes. Creative, survival, team survival, a fortress.
Whoa!
Though players were consistently finding the gameplay addicting, in this early stage there was no way to save what they had built.
Ah, that's
There was
bad.
also no way to play with friends or to
No! Well, that's not a problem for me, but no!
play on maps that others had created. Person would often sit down with the intention to add these commonly requested elements to Minecraft,
Nice!
but he would repeatedly get distracted due to the challenges of implementing multiplayer and instead would focus on more fun features.
Nice.
Okay, multiplayer was boring. But here's water. Should Minecraft have blood? No.
Was
Blood
there
is
bloody
overused.
Minecraft?
Next up was adding multiplayer, which would take quite some time, but
That seems
Person
kinda
was
hard.
determined to get it up and running.
Dude! I remember this! The first Minecraft server I ever played on was on Hamachi. That is crazy that you had to do all that, by the way. Hamachi was so difficult, I was like an idiot, but I figured it out.
Though not without some more side projects along the way, and more challenges to overcome.
So I didn't do multiplayer code, but I had fun. Multiplayer will be in the form of a downloadable server, which will broadcast its IP to the main server when it starts up.
Ah.
Oh,
Every time I see that, I've told the story before, but this is how dumb I am. When I was a kid, I used to play Neopets, and you would have like your own Neopets like profile page. And when you had your own profile page, you could like code it to have like its own background in like HTML format. So what I did was I didn't know you could copy paste on a computer. So I looked at like this, I don't know, you guys remember that funny monkey? He was on like t-shirts for little girls. His name's like Bobby Brown or something like that. I can't remember. But I remember that I wanted him to be my background. So I found an HTML for the background layout and I wrote it all down on a piece of paper. Then I went into my Neopets HTML and I typed it all out by hand. I didn't know you could copy paste. Demitsky, what the hell? Thank you for tier 3 6 months in advance. Holy shit. Thank you. You did not have to do that. That was so nice. Dude, I'm going to try my best not to get in trouble. I will make sure I am say so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we get 3 great memes in the chat? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was so nice of you. Thank you.
I feel stupid. Server admins could host any data they want on their servers. This means anything, including bad things.
What? Viruses?
Multiplayer's starting to go good. I've got player connect, disconnect going, and map streaming on login.
With the release of multiplayer, nearly a month had passed of constant updates, fine-tuning, and debugging since Minecraft was first introduced to the TIGSource community. And Person realized that his passion project could be much more than just a game he was making as a hobby.
Dude, look at that. 110 calories, Red Bull sugar free, 10.
If it was going to continue to grow like this, it was time to put a price tag on it and go commercial.
He's going Corva!
Though today, it may seem completely normal that an indie developer sells their game rather than releasing it for free.
Dude, there's so many things that have changed throughout time. I remember when YouTubers used to do promos or like they had sponsors, people would insta-call them a sellout. They'd be like, how dare you put an ad in your video?
This wasn't actually the case in the late 2000s. The expected practice, rather, was to release a game as freeware and to make money through the use of ads. Person, however, came up with a different plan. Having seen how valuable the direct feedback from the forum has been, he designed his pricing to reward early adopters.
Oh, that's nice
And
though.
despite the warning that people wouldn't pay for such a game, sales started coming in almost immediately. Person even started seeing such a high influx in his income that his PayPal account was frozen due to suspected fraud.
Dude, I remember they used to do that. There's like a lot of streamers who were losing their PayPal accounts because they were being like targeted or they were being told that they were being fraudulent purchases. I think they still, I think they still kind of do that. You always have to be careful. That's why if you are a streamer and you have a PayPal account, you should have it connected to a bank account and then transfer your money out.
It was also enough that he was able to change his status from full-time to part-time at JAlbum, allowing him to spend even more time on developing Minecraft. Month after month, Person followed the same process.
Wow.
Listening to feedback from those who were playing, implementing more features that were commonly requested, and fixing any bugs that were reported. He also, during this time, met another person on the TIGSource forum.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Back in the day, people would give like feedback and he would go in and do it. And now it took Minecraft 400 years to add baby mods! You have all this money, it took you that long to add baby mods, little chickens? My God!
That could help him with the game's sound design. Daniel Rosenfeld is a musician and sound engineer, and he began to collaborate with Person to provide sound effects for Minecraft as
This OST is so good. It is amazing. Actually, peak.
well as produce the iconic soundtrack that is still used to this day.
La la la.
By 2010, sales of Minecraft had grown to the point where Person was able to quit his part-time job with JAlbum altogether. And it was clear that as Minecraft continued to expand, Person would need an actual business structure to handle the explosive growth. But since he was uninterested in actually running a business, he decided to call in some help.
Me. This is when I
First
come
was
in.
a friend and colleague from Person's old days at Midas Player, Jacob Porser.
Hi, Jacob.
Second was yet another colleague, but this time from JAlbum, the former CEO, Carl Manning. Together, the three would establish the company that would officially back Minecraft, Mojang.
Whoa, they did it!
Person was no longer working from home. but had built a small team.
Wow.
The game was still not officially finished, but it already became immensely popular amongst players. And by August of 2010, Minecraft had grown enough to catch the attention of other, much larger game developing companies.
Uh-oh, is someone either one gonna buy them out, or two, maybe they could copy them? Is there a game that's like Minecraft? I don't know, actually.
Such as Valve.
Oh!
Person was invited for a meeting to the headquarters of the gaming giant in
Really?
Bellevue, Washington. And he accepted the meeting halfway across the world.
Wow.
And while there, Person thought he could also meet some Minecraft fans.
Okay.
I have all day on August 31st free in Bellevue. If you guys could organize something on the forums. And I figured we could call it Minecraft Con 2010.
This is Minecon! No shot! So this is crazy. Does he have enough dedicated wham to be doing this?
Even if it's just 3 people sitting around in uncomfortable silence for 20 minutes.
During the meeting with Valve, the company offered Person a position. However, he decided to turn the offer down.
Damn! Get the chat! He said, oh hell no! I know what I'm worth! What the hell?
As his focus was solely on Minecraft.
Wow.
After these negotiations,
He said, don't distract me. Leave me be.
however, Person joined a small gathering of people that had come around because of his blog post.
Aw, I'm for the JC
A little more
Penny.
than 50 people turned up to
Wow.
hang out in a park. A meet
Oh my god, Creeper! And he made a diamond shovel? That was his first idea?
up that would go down as the very first Minecraft Con.
He's so cute!
And this
Aw.
spontaneous event would give the Mojang team an idea.
So cute!
By the end of 2010, Minecraft had reached over 700,000 sales. And
In a
yet,
year?
by this point, Minecraft was still technically not a finished game.
Damn! Everybody is really excited!
It was still in its beta phase.
Wow.
But Mojang's development
But it was a
team was
Sigma.
close to finishing the actual release. With so much hype already built around the game,
Don't GTA
Mojang
it.
knew they needed some fanfare to go along with the game's launch.
They sent a creeper to everybody's house. Oh, that sounds bad out of context. I meant the mob.
And in November 2011, they decided to host an official Minecon.
Yay! Oh, so cute!
This time, instead of an impromptu gathering of 50 people, it would be a sold-out organized event with 4,500 attendees.
And Vishnu was there? Oh my god, wait, that's so cool. Dude, this hotel with the carpet, one, that I can smell, and two, the low lighting. This is awesome. This reminds me of anime cons when I used to go to them in Houston. I don't know, I can just smell the environment. Like, not like the deodorant or anything, but definitely the carpet and the must.
And in quintessential early 2010s fashion,
shit!
this Minecraft convention had a party DJ'd by deadmau5.
What?
All of
Oh
this
my
would be leading
god! Wait! Didn't he have a concert in the game, or did I just make that up? Because if he had... No, I was thinking of Fortnite. He has a concert in Fortnite. Dude, he's been doing a lot. That's crazy. Holy history.
up to the grand finale of Minecon 2011. The
Oh, he has a Minecraft skin. Isn't that crazy? He performed at Minecon, and then the game got even more popular, and then he has a skin on the Xbox. Actually crazy, the GOAT.
official release of the game. As the Mojang team gathered on stage, Person would stand by a large blocky lever, and with one pull, Minecraft was officially launched as a finished project.
Sorry, Steve standing there was making me laugh. He looks photoshopped in.
Even though the game was now finished, the team would continue working on it, releasing updates and adding new features,
Wow.
even until today. But for Person himself, it was the end of a chapter.
Oh, is this when he leaves?
After 2 years of continuous work on Minecraft, he was ready to move on to other projects
Did he?
in order to get back to what he loved
Sorry. I just meant that as did he, but the way I said it was weird.
doing most: coding. And so, just 2 weeks after Minecraft's official release, Person decided to step down from his position as
Wow.
lead developer of Minecraft.
He just left. As of yesterday, Jens Bergensten is the new lead developer on Minecraft. He will have the final say in all design decisions, so he will sort of kind of become my boss, I guess. I promise him not to pull rank. We've been working together on Minecraft for a year now, and I'm amazed at how much in sync we two are when it comes to how to design a game. And when we don't agree, we discuss it and something much better comes out as a result. He's truly a great person to work with, and I feel confident handing over leadership of Minecraft to him. If you want to contact him, beep! Personally, I will now rest for a while, then get back to work refreshed and eager. I'll be helping out with Minecraft, of course, but I'm starting on a new project. Wow!
With Jens Bergensten now at its
Oh,
helm,
Jens, I'm sorry.
Minecraft continued to flourish. But Person didn't get the rest he was hoping for. Still perceived as the maker of Minecraft, players continued.
Wait! Jeb, that's what you named the sheep and he turns gay or something? What happens when you name the sheep, Jeb? I can't remember. Is it the sheep? I'm trying to remember. I really am. Maybe somebody in chat knows. I think it's a name thing, right? Rainbow sheep. Yes!
Continued to send any issues they encountered to him, and he was flooded by complaints.
Oh.
For a long time, he would attempt to ignore the negative feedback that he
Actually kind of based. Always ignore, never apologize.
he could do nothing about, until it finally came to a head in 2014. As the popularity of Minecraft continued exploding, an inevitable feature from players began to emerge. Pay to win.
What?
Mojang has always allowed public servers to be created so that players around the world can play the same map together. However, this opened the door for some to take advantage and create servers where players have to spend money to gain an advantage.
These are real? I didn't know that they had pay-to-win servers. I mean, honestly, I don't ever really play Minecraft with other people. I kind of just play by myself.
These pay-to-win services violated the end-user license agreement of Minecraft, which is why, in a controversial move, Mojang began to crack down on these servers and gave them a deadline to either adapt or to shut down.
Well, I mean, that's kind of cool of them to do because they're basically telling people who are scammers to F off. Like, they're probably scamming kids.
Following this statement by Mojang, there was immense negative feedback.
Really?
And though Person was no longer working on Minecraft, he still received the bulk of the criticism. In frustration, he sent out a tweet on June 17, 2014 that would change the direction of Mojang forever.
Anyone want to buy my share of Mojang so I can move on with my life? Getting hate for trying to do the right thing is not my gig.
Oh, this is like kind of the same thing that happened to Flappy Bird, right? Like when people get harassed, or I think this also happened with have you guys ever played web fishing? Web fishing was a pretty popular like Steam game where you could go and fish with your friends, but the creator of it got like harassed by a bunch of people, so now he doesn't update web fishing anymore.
The very next day, Mane began fielding calls from companies that wanted to know if Person was serious, including studio giants EA, Activision, and Microsoft. And after giving it a thought, Person realized he actually was serious about selling Mojang so that he could finally distance himself completely. And after several rounds of negotiations, a deal was struck.
Ooh.
Mojang has confirmed it's being sold to Microsoft for $2.5 billion.
Damn! Be for real. Chat, you make Minecraft? Microsoft wants to buy you out for billions? You doing it? Be honest. You never got to work another day in your life? Hell yeah! I would, yep. It was like, have you guys ever seen the Beast games? It was kind of like the same thing where they had, basically in Beast games, they had a bunch of people stand at like a podium and they were like, if you hit the button at $1 million, you get $1 million, but your team gets voted out. I'm like, okay, well, beep. Bye, everybody. Bye.
The deal with Microsoft meant that the Mojang founders, Persson, Mane, and Porser, would step away completely, whereas all of their employees would be barred from layoffs. The Microsoft deal was worth a staggering $2.5 billion, and as the major shareholder of Mojang, Persson had become a billionaire overnight.
Wow! Do you have to pay taxes on that, though? Like, I mean, obviously, right? But how much taxes do you pay on $2 billion? Like, how much does he actually walk away with? I gotta know. Like, maybe 500 million? But even then, I'd still be happy with 500 million. And you could probably, like, invest it. Then you don't have to, like, even ever work. 10 glizzies. Damn, is it? You gotta give him 10 hot dogs?
This is the part of the script that should have been the easiest to write.
Uh-oh.
After all, it's a classic happy ending.
Is he gonna talk about the glow
Persson
squid?
had achieved the unthinkable. He turned his passion project started at home into an empire, becoming wealthier than he ever imagined. In the following years, Persson would...
We just watched a queso video where I asked chat if they would eat a calzone or a pizza. And how is the next video we watch a calzone?
continue developing games. And he would do what billionaires do, moving to Los Angeles and buying the most expensive mansion ever built.
If I had $1 billion, ain't no way I'm touching LA! I'd pay $1 billion to never go there! My God!
Beverly Hills, hosting extravagant parties. Meanwhile, Minecraft continues to thrive. With over 300 million sales, it is to this day the most sold video game ever made.
Really? Still? What about Tetris? I don't know, I just kind of made that up.
But yet, this is the part of the script for this video that was by far the hardest to write. In 2017, a series of racist and homophobic tweets led to Microsoft distancing itself from Persson.
I think I talked about this in the Minecraft video where I was talking to Alana, and I had no idea what was actually happening because people in the comment section were pissed.
They scrubbed his name from the game and did not invite him to the 10th anniversary celebration of Minecraft.
Uh-oh.
Persson's tweets were bad.
He's really tweeting this shit? Does being a billionaire make it so that you can just type whatever you want because you don't give a fuck what people think?
Really bad. And they have significantly impacted his legacy in recent years. For me, the hard part about writing this section is figuring out how to talk about someone's harmful comments without making things worse.
Yeah, I understand
In situations
that.
like this, it often feels like there are two paths someone can take.
It's the Yu-Gi-Oh card!
The easy path is the one where they double down on their harmful views, find a crowd that supports them. But
dude, that is basically the money maker. Like, if you just are so controversial that you have people who are very dedicated to you, then you don't even have to worry about ever messing up a day in your life.
then there's the hard path, acknowledging the mistakes, learning from them, and making an effort to change.
Yeah.
And the easier we make it for people to take this second path, the more might take it.
Well, like, the problem with the path of apologizing, I would say, is that then you have a mob of people who know they can always make you do whatever they want. So this is always a difficult decision to make, because if you just start saying sorry for everything, then you're basically just gonna have a bunch of people who bully you all the time.
Marcus Persson's story is undeniably inspiring. There are few stories that highlight as well as this how powerful a good idea is, and how much creativity can flourish within constraints as his. And more than anything, he has created a world that I've always experienced as incredibly inclusive. When is Minecraft the most fun?
When I'm drunk.
Is it when you open a new world, starting to build something new from scratch?
My bad.
Or is it when you've built an empire, and when you have an abundance of everything there is?
No, because then if you're too rich, there's nothing left to do.
Marcus Persson is now in that second stage of life.
Damn, that's actually super deep. I think about that. Like, do you get bored if you're rich? Like, do you Do you end up reaching late game in real life? And then you have nothing else to really want to do? Like, because there's no obstacles, no character development? Like, you just start doing side quests because you're bored, probably?
When I first started this channel, I never could have imagined it would lead to making videos like this. I got to hire an actor, build out a set, and even rent a soundstage in order to
Cool.
make this story come to life. And over the course of the last years, I have produced
He had a wall of candy machines in his mansion, but it went stale since he had no friends to enjoy it with. That's really sad. That is probably the saddest thing I've ever read because that is something that would happen to me. That is really sad.
my most ambitious productions yet, my video series called Underexposure.
Wait, what? He made Minecraft video, but also a video about how the Twin Towers were built in the Bin Laden raid? His mind is an enigma.
Each episode a unique, gripping story
Oh my
that I
God.
believe deserves to be highlighted. The series name, Underexposure, is intentional.
I mean, he's definitely got like the production quality and the voice. I don't know how to explain it. This was a really good video.
An underexposed image is a photograph that captures too few details in the shadows. But in my series, we will bring these shadowy aspects to life.
Cool.
To find out what really happened on the top floor of the Bin Laden compound.
Damn, from Minecraft?
Why Flight MH17 crashed over eastern Ukraine. Or look at the remarkable story of how two families escaped a dictatorship using only a self-made hot air balloon.
What?
This entire series is available exclusively on Nebula, which is a
Wow.
creator-owned streaming service where the likes of Johnny Harris, Wendover Productions, or Real Life Lore post their videos early, ad-free, and create
I like
higher
educational
budget
content.
originals, such as my original series.
Cool.
So go to nebula.tv/neo and make sure that you use exactly this link in order to get 40% off the annual plan.
This is crazy
All
from
my
Minecraft
exclusive
video.
videos are up there, so thanks for the support, and thank you so much for watching
That was
this
awesome.
video.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching with me. That was great and amazing, and I hope you learned something about Minecraft today. And if you're new here, remember to subscribe. Maybe leave a comment below of when you started playing Minecraft and come by the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/BerryCrepe. I can't even speak anymore. And you can use code Berry, check out for 10% off your GameStop order. Have a good evening. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. That was cool.